What's up, Brats? It's your girl Brady Bree, and I'm back with another video. Nah, but so I am gonna do something at the beginning of this video a little different. I'm actually going to change my pump supplies. Yes, y'all, I am now on the insulin pump, and I am also going to give y'all a story time as well after I'm done changing all my supplies and everything like that. So let's just get right up into this video. To take this little thing here, there's an opening right there. Push it up. Okay, so I have the needle here. I just pop that on, and then I insert it, put it upside down. So after I get that, then I put the needle in the little, there's a little white spot in there. I basically pull that up to get all of the air out of there. After that, I put it back in here, and then I redo it. Just flicking it here. After that, I'm gonna go ahead and insert it back and put my insulin in there. I got to take this off, and then I put the new one in. I just lock it in. You hear it click normally when it goes in. Gotta unravel this, connect the two pieces here. So while that is going, I'm gonna go ahead and clean off a spot. So then I try to keep it upwards and this apart as well. And the insulin is gonna go through this whole entire tubing here, and then when it's ready, it's gonna like come out of that little part where it's blue, and that's where the needle is. The little drop is now here. So now we're gonna stop, take the little blue piece off of the needle, take that off. Okay, and then there's like plastic here, and I'm just gonna take that off too. There we go. And there's like little indents, and I just put the tubing here to move it out of the way, and then I pull this white piece up until it snaps. There's little rings on the sides. I'm just gonna press down a little bit and snap them. Okay, and then I'm gonna push in a little bit just to make sure it went in, and pull out. So that is it. So I was diagnosed with diabetes when I was like 15 or 16, and it was so crazy the way I found out, because like my leg, like where, like right here, was like hurting so bad. I was actually living with me and my sister, we were living with my aunt at the time, but it was hurting so bad. Like I could not walk, it hurt to walk, and it was just it hurt really bad. So my mom met up with us at Children's, and they basically said I had diabetes, and my sugar was like, I think it was like over 700 or whatever, and I cried. Like I was so scared. My little sister was with me as well, and she was scared for me as well, because we're like, hold on, what the heck, like diabetes. First of all, I didn't know what the heck diabetes was really, so that itself scared me, and like I knew it could kill people. So I'm sitting there crying and everything because I'm thinking like I'm gonna die. Like I'm scared I'm gonna die. And the doctors basically, you know, they were like, you're not gonna die as long as you take care of yourself. So taking care of myself is like a big must for me because of that reason. And if anybody else has diabetes, whether it's type 1 or type 2, you have to take care of yourself. I am type 1. I am insulin dependent. I have to have insulin. If I do not have insulin, I feel sick and I just don't feel very good. There's been many times where my sugar is just like super high and I didn't feel good. Back when I was diagnosed, my mom ended up telling me that when I was born, that the doctors basically said that I was going to be diabetic at one point in time, which I never knew. But I guess it had to do with my grandma on my dad's side. She had diabetes, she was insulin dependent, and I guess it skips a generation. So I got it. Thanks, Grandma. No, I miss her and love her so much. She passed away when I was about 4, but the memories I have of her were nothing but good memories. But yeah, so there for a while I was like, you know, after I got diagnosed, you know, me being in the hospital, I'm like, this is all I can eat, like this is it. And then once I even got out of the hospital, they were like you have like a certain diet and you have to like look at the nutrition labels for carbs and everything, and how much this is how much you can have for this many carbs. And it was just like, what the heck? The first thing I'm thinking is, you're telling me I can only eat 15 chips and it be this many carbs? I was so irritated. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, really? Like, and first of all, I love chips. I will eat chips like any time of the day. I love chips. Ask my girlfriend. My girlfriend's always like, what'd you eat? And I'm like, some chips. And it's like, but anyways, so yeah, so I was like, what the heck? But even when I was in the hospital the first time, they used to tell me like, you know, you can eat whatever you want. Back then I really loved chocolate and stuff like that. I'm not really a big chocolate eater anymore, but they were like, you can eat candy and chocolate all day long as you take your medicine. So when people always see me at work or anything like that, and I let people know I have diabetes, and they're like, should you be eating? And I'm like, yeah, as long as I take my medicine, I am good to go. Like, it's okay. My doctor even told me this, okay, back when I was little. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, so, and it was crazy because like years ago, it's probably been, well, I can't really say that, but like after I was probably about 18, because I used to stay on my medicine like all the time because I was always living with like my grandparents and stuff like that, so I was always on it. After I moved out, I was probably in the hospital because I was not taking care of myself probably every 2 months, 2 or 3 months. Y'all, my sugars used to be just so crazy. I used to always feel so sick. I used to be in DKA, which is like diabetic ketoacidosis, which means like your blood sugars have been so high for so long and you're getting like, I think it's like acid in your blood, and it's crazy because I can feel like the way I feel makes me feel like I have like something going on in my body, which is that. So but yeah, so I used to literally be in the hospital like every 2 to 3 months, whether it be I just wasn't taking care of myself, I didn't have a way to get my medicine, or just, it was all kinds of things. It was always different kinds of things. Back then it was probably more so I just didn't follow what I should have been, and I'm like, okay, I'll just take a couple units here and a couple units there, and it wasn't doing it how I should have. But I would say probably about 2 years ago, I have been in the hospital one other time these past 2 years, and it was in this time it was because I ran out of insulin, and like I didn't have any insurance, and it was just like a whole big thing. So I didn't have any insulin. I had literally just ran out, and then I ended up being in DKA, so I had to be in the hospital. Thank goodness it was only for like a day. All the other times I was there for like 3, 4, 5 days, and it used to kill me all the time. And I remember that last time, the time before, just like this past year or two, I told myself, I'm like, I'm sick of this. I'm done. I always used to have to get my blood drawn, and it used to kill me because it's like I would be so sensitive. Like when you're in the hospital and you're already sick, you already feel bad, you know? And when they're poking me, it feels even worse than if I was healthy and they were poking me. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I used to hate it, and I would come home with like bruises on my arms and on my hands because of like IVs and just them having to draw blood. So I'm like, you know what? I'm sick of this. I'm done. I'm not going back into the hospital except for that last time. Other than that, I have not been back in the hospital because of my diabetes. Thank goodness, y'all. Thank goodness. So I will say, like, it is something super important to take care of, because you can get really sick and you can die from it. I was on the insulin pens there for, I don't even know how long. Like, it's probably been like 3, 4 years that I've been on the insulin pens. And then once I got on the pump, I loved it because, I mean, it does it for me. All I have to really do is make sure I put my carbs and everything in there, and that's it. I don't have to test my blood sugar. I don't have to stick my fingers, stick myself anymore. Thank goodness. Okay, sorry, my camera had died, y'all. But so yeah, if you're diabetic and you're thinking about the pump, I promise you it will change your life. Seriously, I cannot wait to see what my A1C is, which basically, if you're diabetic, I think, which is the only time they really test it, is it's supposed to be like 6. This past time that I got it done, it was like 10, because it's been going up because my sugars were so high all the time, regardless if I was taking care of myself or not. So I'm super excited to see what it was, because when I was on the pump before, it was down to like 6, and I got off the pump because my insurance had changed and everything like that. It's like a big thing. So insurance is definitely important, unless you got that money and you don't need insurance. Shoot, I don't know, but I always suggest insurance because it's important. And these supplies, insulin itself is super expensive. It seriously is. These supplies are super expensive. I was even looking on like a website, and just a box of cartridges was like almost $100, just for a box of like 10, I think. So it's super expensive. But yeah, so I definitely encourage you guys to take care of yourself, diabetic or not. It's definitely important. And if any of y'all are diabetic, please let me know what y'all do, and if you guys have any stories, because this is my story. So yeah, and also, like, it's super cool too, because, oh, what side is it on? This side. So this, which I don't have to change this until like 10 days. I don't know if you guys can see it. This here, that basically does like my sugars and stuff for me. That gets changed every 10 days. I can't think of the day that it needs changed, but I just changed it like 3 days ago, because it was when I changed this. So that's why I don't have to basically stick myself or anything like that. And there's also apps on my phone that instead of me just having to keep looking down at my pump, it basically tells me my sugar and everything, and you can share it with people. My girlfriend actually has the app, and I share it with her so she makes sure I'm okay and everything like that. The only thing that is when it's running low, or like when your pump is running low, it beeps at you, and it always beeps at me and my girlfriend like when we're trying to sleep. So it wakes her up, and she hates that. That's probably really the only time that she don't really like it. But it like beeps at you when your sugar's dropping and when it's getting super high. Like, it lets you know, and I really like that. And it like the one I have, it if my sugar is too high, it'll give me some more insulin and everything like that. But I also had purchased me some things. Actually, I had my mom get it for me for Christmas because I knew I was getting on the pump. But I had her get me 2 things that I can definitely use, especially for my pump. So if I don't have like even if I don't have pockets, which I don't really put it in my pocket anyways, I just clip it here on the side on like your like waist thing. But there's this thing here that I got, and it's kind of like a fanny pack, but this one specifically actually has like a I can't find it in here right now, but it actually has like a small hole to where you can actually put the tubing through, and you can actually put your pump in here. I have not used this yet, but I'm sure I will. And it's good, pretty good material and everything, and it's actually a pretty big pocket too. I mean, I'd probably only just put my pump in there anyways, just because I probably won't use that for anything else, because I just usually carry my purse around. And then I have this too. Ladies, if you're like myself, I like to wear dresses and stuff like that. So I had gotten this I think it's like a leg garner or something like that, but basically so because like I said, I love wearing dresses and everything like that, especially during the summertime. And there for a while I used to think like, well, if I have the pump, then I can't like wear dresses and stuff. That's not true. So this thing right here, it actually has like a pocket for you to put your pump in, or you could probably just like clip it on the side or whatever, but it has a pocket. And then basically you just put it on your leg or whatever, and then you just put your dress down. So I'm super excited to be able to wear this, because I mean, I am super, like, I'm feeling good, you know, about my sugars and everything. And I'm just super excited to actually be able to use some of these things, because I never thought that it would really be possible. Even though I wanted to get back on the pump, I just didn't think I was going to be able to do certain things, but it's not true. But yeah, so, and it's nice because the pump, it stays charged for like 3-4 days without it having to be charged. They suggest you to charge it like once a day, at least for 20 minutes throughout the day. Mine is at 70%, which isn't really that bad, honestly. So I'll probably, when I get home, because I have class today, probably when I get home I'll charge it a little bit while I'm eating or something. I don't know. But yeah. So that is it for this video. If you guys have any questions at all about like my diabetes journey, like, you know, anything like that, what I went through, anything about the pump, or even just insulin pens or anything like that, let me know in the comments, y'all. I am more than happy to tell y'all more and give you guys feedback and, you know, advice to anything like that, because it's definitely something to be serious about. But that is, like I said, that is it for this video. Y'all don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And Bratty Bree is up out of here. Bye, y'all.